People, my people, it's your girl, Dr. She Cole, the culturally kinky curator, bringing you another episode of Kinky Curations. Now, I would be remiss, although I am 5 days into this story initially breaking, on the Tabitha Brown video and the back and forth viral situation with Wendy Williams responding to this video on her show. If you hear any talking in the background, it's Tabitha Brown. And I wanted to have it on because I've watched it 3 times. I actually watched it when she initially posted this phenomenal story and testimony. And then when the ricochet of Wendy Williams talking about this on her platform, the Wendy Williams Show, and let the record reflect, Wendy Williams is a Jersey girl. I am a Jersey girl. I grew up listening to Wendy Williams. I've admired her throughout the years. I like her. Now, unfortunately, because we lived in the same town, I was raised in Livingston, New Jersey. I went to elementary, middle, and high school there. My parents lived there for over 40 years. She was living in Livingston as well. She used to live in Montclair, New Jersey. She's not from Montclair. She's from, I think, a more southern part of Jersey, but she did reside in Montclair, I believe, a portion of the time as a married woman, and then she moved to Livingston, and that is where I, lived predominantly my entire life. And ShopRite is the local store, grocery store in the center of town. And my mother saw her in the grocery store, and she was so excited because she knew how much I loved and liked and followed Wendy Williams. And unfortunately, Wendy Williams was not as pleasant as I would have liked to my mom. So I was kind of turned off from Wendy because of that interaction she had with my mom, considering, there's not an overabundance of people of color in Livingston. I know there's a lot more from when I grew up in Livingston to date, a lot more, but it's not like, you are turning around every corner doing the proverbial brother head nod. Like, what up? Oh, what up? Oh, it's not like that. When you see other black folks, most of the time, although Jersey is not like the itchy, ya, let me say hi to everybody. That's really not, the get down. You're not saying hello to every single person that you don't know. Like it might be a little bit more welcoming in some aspects of the South where, greeting one another is just commonplace. That's not the same way in Jersey. So for a woman of a certain senior age to approach Wendy, and it's a known fan or mother of a fan, as she articulated, and you basically roll your eyes and don't speak to my mom. Yeah, I'm not feeling it, but I still rock with her on occasion because I understand that maybe that was in the fog of her needing to get out of that marriage and dealing with other personal things. But again, when you're a celebrity, a lot of times people do come across, fans, and they're not really nice, and it winds up being a disappointment. But, you're not going to snub my mom, and I still feel the same way, right? So this in no way is going to cloud my opinion on this particular response that Tabitha Brown gave in relationship to retiring her husband from the LAPD after they made an agreement in their marriage that, baby, give me 5. It took 15. I'm honoring my word. It's time for you to come out. First and foremost, one of the things that I like about Tabitha, her spiritual undergirding is quite apparent, because the level of emotional intelligence and spirituality that she responded to Wendy Williams with is really a master's class in how you should respond to your haters. I'm just turning Tabitha off now. How you should respond to your haters. Now, Let me be abundantly clear. I am a work in progress, and I am working to get to that end of response to haters. I think that since the pandemic, I have been so physically exhausted that taking this time to regroup, recharge, reboot, recalibrate, because I'm taking a few days for vacation. And as I'm getting into each day and distancing myself from the work and the stress, digging more so into working out, going to my Pilates classes, which I've been doing continuously, and really focusing in on my spiritual side, I don't have the bandwidth for foolishness. I don't have the bandwidth to engage with a hater. And my prayer for myself is that I continue to strive for the spiritual fortification process to take place, that I can look at you and see right through you. It's like your glass, because I can't be moved, because it is truly about protecting your peace. And a very good way to protect your peace is to close your mouth and mind your business. Wendy Williams, unfortunately, needs to really stay out of other people's marriages. Now, I understand, as a TV personality with like a #1 talk show in the nation, and she built her career on celebrity gossip when no one was doing it on the radio. And I believe no one has done it better than her. But I do believe life and experiences leave you jaded. And I do believe that she is still in the process of healing and needs, if she's willing to accept it, strong, wise counsel, support, and edification, so she can really seek God's face, if that is a part of her toolkit, lifetime toolkit. She really needs to dig in, because, and I never thought I would say this, when Jocelyn Hernandez, I can't believe I'm quoting her, states that when it comes to other women of color, you always come for the women of color on your show, but I don't see you bringing that same energy to other people that are not in that or of that persuasion. Jocelyn, when you're right, you're right. First of all intents and purposes, Tabitha Brown is a breakout star who has had an amazing experience on her YouTube platform. She has had several acting gigs. She's currently in a guest role in The Chi. She has her McCormick Sunshine Seasoning coming out, I think in a day or two, July 8th, I believe. She has a hair oil serum out on the market now. And she is starting to get that come up. I think she just purchased a home with her husband, like in the millions range. God bless her and for her bounty. But listen, when you're on a certain level, I think when you have to start cherry picking in topics that may not even be in the echelon or the realm of where you traditionally graze to get your material, you're doing too much. Leave that woman alone. Because the difference, and she made it very clear in a very loving and grounded way. My husband and I were broke together. She was the woman who was not working consistently, pursuing her dream, and they were struggling to keep the lights on, the utilities up and food on the table together. Having children and raising them on a police officer's salary together. And quiet as it's kept, our community has not had the best relationship with LAPD. So for this man of color to have served as a pillar on the LAPD police force, and he can now take a classy exit and pursue mentoring, coaching through his nonprofit, and really engage in ministry. Because once you are on the law enforcement side of the coin, and I also put education in this continuum because mentoring goes part and parcel with education, sports go part and parcel, coaching, mentoring with children. When you're on the LAPD or law enforcement side and you are arresting children, it's really too late. Not that there are not success stories, but you're talking about you're at the tail end of the continuum, and it's going to take a lot of rehabilitation, attention, and prayer to turn a situation around once you have youth who become offenders and repeat offenders at the arms of the law. If you can reach children when they are in elementary, middle school, with or through athletics, coaching, mentoring, etc. Now that's a beautiful thing, because now you have a former LAPD officer who has a great record, from what I understand, unless something else comes out that we don't know about, but he has a great record. And now he wants to give back to the community and really operate in ministry. And his wife of 20 odd years is like, brother, this is your opportunity to do what you do, because you have been the long arm of the law. You have been protecting and serving, not only in this house, but other houses in the community. It's time for you to step back and think like a child again. That's a gift. It's a beautiful gift, and everybody does not have the opportunity in this life to do that. And she did that on her faith and trust and belief in God. Go sit down, Wendy, because, and I'm about to take it there, the Bible does say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Tabitha is anointed. That is an anointed woman. She is a beautiful spirit. She has a lovely disposition. You have different organizations and brands like Oprah and so forth connecting with her. People are connecting with her based on who she is and how she was created. Stop. I wish we can get to a place in our community where we are not crabs in a barrel. It is just sickening. It really is. And you would think, and again, when you're hurt people, not to be cliche, do hurt other people, right? She didn't hurt Tabitha. People are just riding and rocking with her even the more. But I say all that to say this. Wendy Williams, if someone on her team had some wisdom, and I'm not saying that they don't have wisdom, maybe someone does. I think that she's doing perhaps a lot better, but I do think that she really still is in a lot of pain. And she really needs to have a great support system of down women. I'm not talking about, and I'm quoting and taking Funky Daniva's line, I'm not talking about Fula Lan with Cynthia Bailey and these other stars in reality housewives. I'm not talking about that. And that's no disrespect to them. That's not to say that they can't be good people and be a support system, but that's not what I'm saying. I believe when you are a celebrity, and I'll take it even a step down, but not diminished in worth. But when you are in leadership, every leader, if you look throughout history, even when you're talking about monarchs, every leader, queen, king, etc., has a counselor. They have a point person, a chief of staff. That's not about the limelight, but they have somebody in their org that's in the inner court. You can have outer court friends and people you can hang out with and go to dinner with and do your appetizers, dinner, this, and go around the town like Wendy likes to do now in her new normal, which is cool. But you need some real ones who can pray with you in the midnight hour. You need somebody that you can call when you feel like you are on the edge mentally and you need someone to talk you through some process, some procedure, some plans, to pull you out of that dark place. I mean, let's be real. We've all had dark experiences that have brought us down certain paths where you needed someone. Just like the old, stories, the stories of the days of old of the praying grandmothers and so forth. You need somebody that's going to pray for you. You need somebody that can give you wise counsel. Out of the mouths of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Those 2 or 3 witnesses are the counsel that are looking out for you. They're not trying to get on your show. They're not trying to get any money from you, Wendy. They're not trying to get anything out of Wendy Williams. They are simply down for you because they're down for you. And that's what I hate about what toxic relationships can do. Because when you become isolated and you don't have anyone that really has your back that's just for you, except in the realm of work. Because anybody that's attached to you and you're attached to their check, there's going to be a certain level of loyalty, or let me close my mouth because I don't want to jeopardize my coins. Not to say that can't happen, because I know I have people on my team that I manage that will tell me if I'm out of my mind. You have lost your mind. They will tell me, okay? And they know that there's no retribution, like I'm going to come for their check or threaten their livelihood or their profession. But that's built over time. Like that had to be built. I had to build that with people over time. And we're of an age, and Wendy is of an age where, quoting Drake, no new friends. I don't know you. I don't know you. Okay? And people don't gel as quickly after a certain time period. Not that it cannot happen. It absolutely can happen. But I look at people like Mary J. Blige, who I love, and I will be talking about her movie that was showing and featured on Prime, Amazon Prime. The one piece that I will bring into this particular episode that makes sense: when Mary was being managed by her sister, her career and so forth was thriving. When that changed hands to the husband, she lost like 40 mil. And now things are back on the uptick again because her sister is managing her. So she's recouping the time. There's something to be said to have people in your corner that have known you from way back when and just rock with you because you're you. And I also pray that Wendy Williams get some genuine girlfriends. I pray that, and if someone, like I was saying before I went on my rant, if there's someone in her team that I believe has wisdom, if I were Wendy Williams, I'd be calling Tabitha. I sure would. I'd be calling Tabitha, 1, humble as I know how, apologizing, and 2, maybe asking for some prayer and some counsel. But you have to humble yourself to know when you need help. And you have to be grown enough to say, you know what, I have a problem. The first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. And Wendy is hurt and is in recovery emotionally. I'm not going to speak to anything else that she may or may not be doing as it relates to things she struggled with in the past, because we've all struggled with something, and I'm not here to judge. But I am tired of seeing Black women, whether it's me breaking up a fight at my school between two young Black women or two young women, tearing one another down, talking about one another, he said, she said, or at the level of a Wendy Williams and a Tabitha Brown. I'm tired of seeing it. It makes no sense. And frankly, I would really love to see a show. It wouldn't do well, I don't think. I don't think it would stay on the air. But if Iyanla Van Zant can have a successful show, Fix My Life, I wonder what a show would look like. So Carlos King, if you ever get to see this, Todd Tucker, or anybody in that genre, I would love to see what a show would look like, whether it be reality TV, whether it be a documentary, where you see other women of color uplifting and edifying one another, and the power of their work through mentorship, support, friendship. And one of the blueprints could be Oprah and Gail. But I know that wouldn't bring ratings, because no one's jumping over a table, cursing somebody out, or accusing somebody's husband of birthing a child out of wedlock, and the list goes on and on. It's awful that our threshold of intelligence can only be massaged by mediocrity and maltreatment of one another. It's a shame. But I celebrate you, Sister Tabitha Brown, for being able to stand in the gap for your husband after he has stood in the gap for you as the protector and provider and the head of your family. It's so nice to see the baton change. It's so nice to see that you guys are not restricted by gender roles, traditional gender roles. And it's so wonderful to see your beautiful family expand and grow. And it was wonderful to see you give your husband that retirement party where the motivational speaker and pastor that he loves, I believe it was a pastor, came to pour into his life. That's what I'm talking about, sis. That's what I'm talking about. Taking care of the spirit. It's a beautiful thing. It renews my faith in relationships. It renews and is galvanizing my faith when it comes to seeing Black families. Because I lost a little faith in that area. Based on some of my own experiences, not with my parents, but just my own experience as a woman, and wanting so much to have built a solid spiritual family with a proud Black man like my dad, that I could build something with another person with. And impact and leave a legacy. So I shoulder that responsibility on my own, but in God's time, you never know what may happen. I'm always going to try to remain optimistic, but definitely that helped give me a boost. So Tabitha Brown, I thank you for your words of wisdom, and I thank you for your class and dignity and your grace, because you really extended grace. It's grace and gathering, because you extended Wendy Williams grace, but you gathered her together. Let's gather together. Like the pastors would say, we gather here together. You gathered her in the name of the Lord. But it was good. It was good. So again, to my home girl, Jersey girl, Wendy Williams, I do pray for your healing, woman to woman, having gone through a divorce myself. I get it. And I pray for your healing, um, and just, happiness, because every person deserves to be happy in their own square. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be treated well and valued. So I hope that for Miss Wendy Williams, and I am ecstatic about the floodgates that are opening for Miss Tabitha Brown, a beautiful woman, entrepreneur, actress with businesses that are starting to launch and flourish. Um, I'm here for it. So this is your girl, Dr. She Cole, the culturally kinky curator, signing off. Have a great evening, day, or night. And please, people, my people, click like, click subscribe, click the notification bell, share this video with a friend. I'm still sitting at 511, and I'm very thankful for each person who has subscribed to my channel, but I am looking to get to 525. So please, if you've received anything from this video, please click share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.